So guys, we all know it's that time of the year where you are getting fitted, and the top end of your golf bag is where you really need to think this year. Do you need a 3-wood? Do you need a 5-wood? Do you need a 7-wood? What do we want? These are not my golf clubs. These are from a golfer who is a 9 handicap golfer, plays at Lindrick Golf Club. He's been getting fitted all winter. He's got a full new bag. You might have seen his irons on here. He did go for the Titleist T150s and T200 combo set. But now we're talking about the top end of the bag. 2 of these clubs weren't clubs that you were expecting to get, and especially one of them, he went in for something totally different. But what is that? Okay, so we have Pete in here. Thanks again, Pete, for being on the channel. Obviously, we know you are a man who thoroughly enjoys fitting. I mean, how many drivers did you have last year? This is the question I've really been waiting to ask you.
I don't know if my wife sees this. None.
None?
Yeah, I mean, I toyed with probably the Ping. I think everybody did, which I really enjoyed. For me, though, it was all about shaft. I think shafts, you know, I've always said that shaft's probably the most important thing in fitting for me. So I played around with the Ping head for a little bit and then got settled on a Titleist TR2 head.
Yeah.
In the top of the bag, which again, not what I expected when I went into the fitting with Lawrence. Being completely honest, I was getting good numbers with the Ping driver, just a stock Ping shaft. But you know, the beauty of it at SGGT, you get to scratch every itch that's there. Every single shaft they've got on offer goes in every single head, which is unique. There's not many places that do that. There's certainly not any others I know. You know, unless you've
No, I don't think so either.
No.
It's pretty much a one-off place down there at SGGT. So obviously drivers change, but this club you've got in the hand now, if you want to hit a couple of shots, obviously, this is a Ping G430 Max 5-wood.
5-wood, yeah.
So 5-wood that you've not really had a 5-wood in your bag in the last couple of years.
15 years, I think it is.
15 years. So you've been the man of a hybrid. And obviously you went in looking for a hybrid as well.
I went in looking for a hybrid. I mean, gapping at the top end, probably most amateurs find this. I get a bit of a blend. I get 3 clubs that maybe do the same thing. So going from the 4 iron that was carrying about 180, I was looking for a 190-200 club. The hybrid I liked because it was versatile, but I always struggled with the left pull with it. Again, face angle, address I struggled with. They always seem like they face, you know, the pointing left. So I did struggle with that side of things, and 5-wood was never something that was ever on my radar again. Don't know why, again, because I had success with it when I had it in the bag all those years ago. But I think as the handicap started to come down, your probably ego kicks in a little bit, and I wanted to put a 2 iron in, and a hybrid and a 3 hybrid, and you know, without being rude, Lawrence just kind of said, look, you know, give yourself a little bit more help. My concern was the versatility of it, being the weight further back. I didn't want that bloom ball again playing at Lindrick, which you know is firm, fast, and can be windy. I wanted something that I could get running if I was kind of a little bit further back and, you know, run it into the greens. And the 2 iron that I had did that. It was a bit knuckly, but I was surprised that I can hit that shot with this off the tee, off the deck. It is such a versatile club that, you know, I could drop it in the stance and play that knuckly one that's going to get out there to about 200 and put me in play.
Perfect, let's try and play one of those now. Obviously these are things that you change at setup. Obviously the club needs to do that. You don't want a club that's obviously going to spin up on you when you need that shot. I think he plays at Lindrick. Like I say, it can get very windy out there, so you need a lot of shots.
And that's just a little knuckly cut. Look.
Straight away there, obviously. Half the ball flight there of the previous one, and just runs up and does the exact job. Hit that elusive 200 number. So we'd take that. Obviously from 5-wood, very traditional, you go into a 3-wood under this head cover. So what 3-wood is in there? Obviously also fitted.
Again, very forgiving. I think everybody was played the Ping clubs over the last 23, 24.
Very so the forgiving. Same, is it? Is it the same G430 Max it is? Yeah.
G430 Max. One thing that I liked that Lawrence certainly picked up on is, again, going into my swing fault. I think that was the key thing for me. It's not a one-size-fits-all. He's looked at where my faults is, and we've kind of had a good conversation before we even picked a club up. And I did struggle with when I got into the longer woods again, getting into the kind of this overtop movement and losing the head. So having a little bit of a shorter shaft, I think this is actually a 5-wood length shaft. in the Ventus TR7S just helped me kind of feel where the weight of the club was, and to counteract that with the swing weight is actually hot melted the head, so put some extra weight in the head, which again just balances the club up nicely. You know, this was all, you know, eye-opening for me. It's something I've never experienced in a fitting, and to kind of witness him do that and understand it a little bit, again, it just gives you confidence as a player. I was able to think, right, I know this is kind of set up for me now. Let's go out there and swing hard with it.
And interesting enough there, guys, obviously different things there. So hot melting there, that's something that I've seen when I was on the European Tour, when tour players are getting fittings. That's a lot of things that they do to obviously get it tweaked perfect, obviously. Here for Pete, obviously a 9 handicap golfer, they've done exactly the same for him, so they've gone through that process. A little bit of a shorter shaft, so very interesting there when you go for fitting. Maybe you don't always get put into a shorter shaft when you're trying a 3-wood, for example. You can put obviously a 5-wood shaft in there, maybe get that little bit more confidence because it's a little bit shorter. Very mini driver-esque, obviously. If anyone's got a mini driver out there, that was designed to be a little bit shorter to give you that little bit more confidence over the ball. You're not as far away from the ball. Hopefully there's a little bit less error. So 3-wood, obviously, there straight away. Pete knows what he's getting, 220 yards.
220 is kind of a good number for me with this. Again, off the tee, I can get it out there a little bit further, but off the deck, I'm comfortable. And it just, you know, I struggle to hit this left, which I like.
Yeah, and you're getting a good, obviously, nice high ball flight out of that, even with a 3-wood, getting the launch that you want, but you can also play it low when you want.
He's also put the setting in flat, again, which was new for me. I predominantly played a draw off the tee. So to have that flat setting, it does allow me to start the ball left and just see it drop right, which again I like that shape with these clubs. I can control that shape certainly going into kind of par 5s or long par 4s.
And very interesting here, obviously the next club up which everybody wants to see is this driver. So again, obviously we've got some hot melting here, so different to what you would get in a standard fitting. Pete says this is also a little bit shorter, Pete?
A little bit shorter, yeah. We originally fitted that for 45.25, I think it was. Again, playing my best golf, I was always about 44.5. That's actually now 44.25. Again, hot melted the head. In the heel area, I believe, just allow me to release that a little bit better.
Yeah.
So again, it's tweaked up to the max. Really, there's not really else I can say. It's there for me, really.
And interesting enough here, obviously both these, obviously the G430 Max is only last year's model, and the same for the TSR. Obviously, it's not the latest models on the range there, and it's not always the latest that fit everyone. Obviously for Pete, these were the best ones for Pete. Obviously we're going to hit a few drives now. It obviously depends on what suits you best. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. Obviously we know that we want to get for you whatever's going to be the most consistent. And guys, if you wonder where we are today, we are down at Worksop Indoor Golf. So a fantastic facility. As you'll see on there, we have an indoor chipping green, indoor putting green, and we have 4 indoor bays. Here we've got the GC Hawk. We also have a couple of GC3s and a GC Quad down here. So if you're looking for somewhere to practice in the winter, there's pretty much no better facility than here if you're wanting to do that all. But right, driver up here. So is this flat as well, Pete?
Yeah, well, to be honest, again, remit for this club is, again, just trying to get a little bit more control in the swing, allow me to swing with a little bit more confidence. So it's flat to kind of start that, you know, get the start line right that I'm looking for. It's locked it down to 8.25 again. I didn't want something that was ballooning up. I'm not the fastest swinger. Probably swinging about 96 or something today, 97, maxing out about maybe 103 now. So I noticed my swing speed had dropped down significantly. So I just wanted something that was really playable off the tee. I was losing shots there, you know, I mentioned it in the previous video where, you know, where my game had gone and where I was kind of struggling was confidence off the tee. So getting this top end of the bag was right. Slightly different shaft, Ventus Blue 6S TR. Again, TR just helping me a little bit more feel in the handle. Again, hot melt in the face to get that weight at the top of the swing correct for me, and just allow me to kind of swing, you know, swing as powerfully as I dare down the line, really.
Yeah, perfect. So the man of the Ventus, red and blue. Let's see this driver.
Might have to put that green back to 300, Chris.
So a solid start, a nice little baby draw there. Again, carry-wise,
Yeah.
245 running out into the wilderness, up to 265. So for me there, Pete, obviously playing with you in the last couple of years, that is a lot longer than drives that we've seen in the last couple of years where you've been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and again, coming up here, doing the numbers at Workshop Indoor Golf with Dave, 240 was my carry number. Today, miraculously, I'm hitting all my carry numbers, which is unusual. But again, that kind of 240 carry, 270, I'm going to get probably a little bit more in summer at Lindrick. As I say, so if I can get that up to kind of 270, 280 with the swing work I'm doing, that's going to get me around most places.
So guys, very important to get the top end of your golf bag sorted this winter. Just like Pete there, he's got some tricked up clubs there. Obviously, he spent his money on his fitting and made sure he's got the right ones for him to do the best this season that he can. He can't blame the clubs this season. Unfortunately, he can only blame himself. But a big thanks to the guys down here at Workshop Indoor Golf. As you can see behind me, fantastic facility here. If you're in the area, do give it a check out. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. And if you have, hit that subscribe button below. And we'll see you again tomorrow.